YouTube, Josh here with you again. Decided we're going to do a review on the different 1911 magazines that I've used and the ones that I possess that I haven't used. We'll just go ahead and go over materials and feel and all that. Let's see. My first 1911 magazine, ironically, is this Novak's or ActMag High Polish Blued. It has this nice glossy finish on it. Holds 8 rounds, 45 automatic, of course. It has the absolute smoothest function, while the actual magazine itself is steel. Looks to have a stainless or some other high polish lustrous metal follower, which I believe is stainless. As you see, these are extremely smooth functioning magazines. This is the magazine that I got with my original 1911, which of course was my Rock Island's Armory, or Rock Island Armory, I think it is. I'm going to rate it probably 4 3/4 out of 5. I don't recall having any actual failures with it. I read a lot of other reviews. It appears that it's going to be a durable magazine. It's, like I said, been reliable, and you get 8 rounds, so you get one more than the actual standard for a 1911 magazine. It's good. And another magazine that I've only used a little bit, I decided to switch over to it because it has the floor plate, and because it's black, some sort of blued. It's a Taurus PT 1911 magazine. The finish is nowhere near as nice. The follower is just a basic. The front part does have the hood, but just a basic follower. I don't think these magazines are broken in yet. I picked them up at a gun show inside of a gun case, ironically. These were the wrong magazines for the gun, so I haven't really used them a lot, but I have used them and they worked fine. As far as materials, they're not as attractive, nor do they feel quite as high quality as the ActMag. Whatever steel they use is apparently prone to rusting, and had a very strange lubricant on it when I got it. I'm going to call it a 4 out of 5. It's a good magazine. If you can lay your hands on them, cheaper than regular 1911 magazines. They work just fine. Like I said, this one's not broken in, so they will lock your slide open in the last round and all that stuff. It's a fully functional 1911 magazine. 4 out of 5. Moving on. Looks like we've got Colt stainless steel 7-round for the purist who's not really a purist. It's all stainless steel, follower, hell, even looks like the spring might be. It's got the Colt stamping on bottom. It does not have a removable floor plate, so you got to use the yank it out the top disassembly maneuver. Ironically, the Colt magazines are the ones that everybody thinks are genuine, even though Colt 1911s haven't been actually made for ever. Anyways, these are the ones that people put their faith in, and they're good magazines. They're significantly more expensive than your average magazine would be, and they have a slightly more attractive stainless finish on them than some others. Like I said, this one was only $7 rounds, and it cost at least as much as an 8-round magazine made by Kimber, which is almost identical, but tiny little differences. Now, I've only used the Colt magazine in my Llama 9mm. This is also a Colt magazine. It's not stainless steel. It's obviously a 9mm, and it's functioned fine. Basically, the magazine with the 1911 is the deciding factor with reliability, and it's pretty reliable. The only other thing you got to worry about is the feed ramp, but if you shoot full metal jacket ammo, which pretty much every 1911 manufacturer tells you to do, and to not stray from, unless you modify the gun, you're fine. We'll move on to the Kimbers. The Kimber 1911 magazines are the first 1911 magazines I bought that did not come with a gun. This is a really funny point. With my Rock Island Armory 1911 A1, these things worked fine. In fact, they worked just as reliable as the gun, which was about 90 to 95%. It was a very reliable gun. And I mean, that's with shooting factory ammo, reloads, a couple of plus P rounds. So it really was getting a workout, and it was working fine. They're good magazines. The thing I don't like is you have to tear them out the top to disassemble them. Not to mention the stainless really doesn't go with my gun, but anyways, that's kind of a joke. And I don't like the floor plate. If you take the magazine in your hand, put it in, sometimes it goes all the way in, sometimes it doesn't. Now, an empty magazine is much easier to load into it than a loaded one. But anyways, these magazines, when they have 8 rounds in them, possibly the springs aren't broken in or whatever you might want to say, they put too much pressure on the slide on my gun, and they cause a slight unreliability. So you'd want to go with probably 7 rounds until it was broken in. And I would say that will probably resolve any problems at that point. Kimber magazines, I think they're about 25 to 30 bucks for stainless steel 8 rounders. I'm going to call them a 4 out of 5 as well. The materials are good quality. It's some type of a magnetic stainless steel, and you know, aside from the fact that they're totally entry level, no floor plate, anything like that, they're pretty good. Now, I have heard that they're supposed to come with floor plates, but I bought 2 at the same location. There were no floor plates, so either I got ripped off twice in a row, or the information I got was incorrect. Moving on. Those are both Colts. So we go to the Chip McCormick. I think this is a Super Mag or Superfly or Butterfly or something stupid like that. Shooting Star. I think it's a Shooting Star. I'm pretty sure it's a Shooting Star. Amusingly, I'm not seeing any designation. There should be a... Oh, yeah, there it is. Shooting Star on the slightly different follower. Can't say that I really like that. And it comes with an add-on floor plate, which I'm not especially fond of. And hopefully the screws are... Yeah, they're there. It's an 8-round magazine, so it's about the same as all the rest of them. This was on sale. I don't remember how much they cost normally, but it's just a blued or a matte, can't really tell you, magazine. Decent looking. I don't particularly care for their follower. They have good and bad reviews. I've never shot one of them. I don't like the way it looks. Just me. And the spring is odd and noisy, but I don't know if that makes any difference. It comes with the floor plate, so aside from the fact that I haven't tested them, I'm going to rate it a little bit higher than the Kimbers, because for less money you get a magazine with a floor plate, 8 rounds of similar quality. And I'm not forgetting the fact that one of these is stainless and one of them is not. I believe with Kimber magazines you get approximately the same price with a stainless or a blued. that pretty much sums it up, everybody. So we had a 4 3/4 on the Novaks, or ActMag. Those are made in Italy. The Brazilian-made PT 1911 magazines were good, and we call those, I think, a 4 out of 5. And actually, all of the other magazines I've reviewed are 4s out of 5s. I've only used one other 1911 magazine, and I didn't like it. It was a 9mm one that came with the llama that I got. It was broken. That might be why it didn't function properly. The front hood on the follower was bent, and then it later broke off because they made it out of really hard, brittle metal. So whatever magazine manufacturer that might have been, it wasn't stamped in any place. That one I would rate, I guess, a 3. This was Josh reviewing 1911 family, clone, or style gun magazines. We reviewed both 45 automatic and 9mm Luger, Parabellum, NATO, automatic, and by 19. Hopefully this was informative, and if you have any questions, let me know. And actually, if you want to send me extra 45 ammo, I will go ahead and test out the other magazines that I haven't tested. This is Josh, signing out.